Yeah. Welcome to Idea Hug. Welcome back to the show. I got you. You made it to the show tonight. You made it to the Idea Hug podcast. Thanks for being in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Downloading on iTunes, listening on our website, ideahug.com. You can read stuff there too. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Idea Hug. Lots of content, lots of things going. Idea Hug is the place where listeners submit their idea that needs a hug, and we give it a hug. We give it a kiss. We take ideas and make them better. We take ideas and make them feel good. I'm making it feel good. I'm making it feel so good. We make ideas feel good. That's what we do at Idea Hug. You can email your idea at any time. myideahug@gmail.com. Sometimes we throw out ideas from our own studio. Sometimes we get them from the listeners. Today we got a great submission. But first, let me tell you what I'm drinking. It's a tradition here on Idea Hug podcast to talk about what we're drinking tonight. What are you drinking? You having a whiskey? You having a wine? You having a beer? A vodka? Chewing some gummies? If you're on the West Coast, no doubt, you're getting the green. Well, I'm on a goddamn diet. And yeah. It's not like a sober New Year's resolution. It's just I'm trying to cut down on the sugar. Alcohol has a shit ton of sugar in it. So tonight, it sounds a little boring, but you can be proud of me. I got a soda water and lime. I'm sipping a soda water and lime tonight. Here it is. It's refreshing. You gotta train. You gotta want it. Idea Hug. Email us your ideas at myideahug@gmail.com. We had a lot of good response from our submissions on how to make the Super Bowl better, how to make the NFL better. And somebody followed up on that and said, can we do a similar podcast about how to make the Olympics better? Right now we got the Winter Olympics going, so we're going to hit that idea tonight. We got some thoughts for you. We got some key points, some bullet points. How to make the Winter Olympics better. Right now the Winter Olympics are going on in Korea, South Korea, Pyeongchang. And I agree with this submission. There are some big fucking problems with the Winter Olympics. I want to talk about the positives first, though. Tonight we're going to talk about how to make the Winter Olympics better, the Winter Games better, 2018 Olympics. Let's talk about some positives first. Patriotism. Countries getting fired up. People being unified in their country, to cheer on their athletes. It's fun to see. It's a unifying thing. That is a positive. It's a unifying thing. United States just had a 17-year-old kid win a gold medal in snowboarding, doing some sick tricks, just flying the fuck out of the place. Won a gold medal. It was fun to watch. I was cheering him on. It's a unifying thing, the Olympics. It's a time when kind of the world takes a breather. Even North Korea is getting involved. There are some little bullshitty things about the North Korea involvement in the Olympics and Russia. They don't call it the Russian team. They call it athletes from Russia. What a bunch of bullshit. Just call it Russia. But it's a unifying thing for countries. It's fun for us. Obviously, economically, it's good. TV deals, advertising, all that shit. Tradition, okay? Tradition is a positive thing. A lot of these sports in the Winter Games represent old traditions. Things that we've grown up with, things that our grandparents have grown up with. So the beauty of tradition and seeing this come around and seeing something in your life that doesn't change. It's nice. I get it. It's a positive. It's nice to have a couple things in life that just don't fucking change. Every 4 years, when the goddamn Winter Olympics come around, you can expect to see the weird-ass old-school sports. The luge. The bobsled. The motherfucking ski jump. There's a consistency. It's like having a good, safe place to be. So the tradition, the shit that doesn't change when everything else in the world is changing and spiraling out of control and spinning on this goddamn rock that we live on. So all that stuff's going on. Those are some of the positives. Unfortunately, there's way more negatives, and the Olympics is completely out of touch. Our submission is, Idea Hug, make the Winter Olympics better. What would you do? The Winter Games is absolutely out of touch. Some negatives. Number one, I'm gonna give you my 3 action steps here in the second part of our show. We'll get to my 3 thoughts. But I'm just gonna rifle off some negatives. Number one, the Winter Games are so out of touch. These sports are like rich people sports. The Winter Games is supposed to be a world unifying thing. If you watch this shit, your mind will be fucking blown how elite and bullshitty these sports are. Downhill skiing. And 8 different versions of downhill skiing. That is a rich person's sport. Let's not fucking kid around. I've lived in ski towns before, and I know there are programs to get public school kids up in the mountains, but they're all bullshit. Skiing is really fucking expensive. Being a part of year-round sport skiing is really expensive. It's one of those sports where you pay out the ass to get better. It's not like youth basketball, youth soccer, where anyone can join, anyone can be a part of it. You can do it for free. And skiing is probably the most mainstream sport of the Winter Games, and it is an elitist club. I don't mean to rip on skiers, but let's just be honest here. I'm watching this. They're showing some of these background stories of these kids who are competing in the Olympics. They quit school. They went to boarding school. They had to get sponsors. It just doesn't seem like real life to me. Now, downhill skiing, ski racing, speed skiing, moguls, it's just fucking crazy. And that's probably the most mainstream. You want to get into the other sports of the Winter Games? I mean, already curling is a joke. It's fun. I've tried it before. It's super fun. It's like a big-ass game of shuffleboard. It's like a big-ass bar game. You don't have to be very athletic to get into it. You can learn a lot about it. It's fun. All these things are fun. But how much of an impact in our globe and in our world do they have? The luge. The fucking luge. I just watched the competition for the luge, and I felt bad for the announcers. I felt embarrassed for them. They had to pretend to make so much drama and intrigue and backstory about the luge. You want to talk about an elitist sport? Luge. What have you done your whole life? I'm part of the luge community. Say again? Part of the luge community. It's a 0.00001% of our society who pays thousands and thousands of dollars a year to go to these crazy ass tracks. What the fuck is the luge? What was the practical? All these sports had some sort of practical, history. When I was traveling the mountains in Austria, they have vintage old school luges. They used them to transport goods from the top of the mountain down. That's kind of cool. But now a man sits on a giant ice skate, a giant 2-bladed ice skate, and we see who can go the fastest down this multi-million-dollar track. What the fuck? And I felt bad for the announcers because they were trying to add so much drama to this. One of the announcers on the Winter Olympics at the luge, the fucking luge, kept saying, "I am speechless." Really? You're speechless? You have not seen shit in your life, my friend. You're speechless about the luge? You could be speechless when a drop-dead gorgeous human being walks in front of you and takes your breath away. You could be Shit, you should be speechless when you're standing out on a sunset at the ocean and dolphins are popping through the waves. And the majesty and the magnitude of the ocean is right there in front of you. Please don't ever say you're speechless at the luge. Fuck. I need a drink of my soda water and lime. I need a fucking drink. These sports are out of touch. Norway is the biggest medal earner in the history of the Winter Games. Norway obviously is a winter country, near year-round winter activities. They take it very seriously. Norway is also a very wealthy country. It's small. They don't have to deal with all the problems that, a larger place like the United States has. In Norway, you can go to school for free at university. They also give you incredible benefits and mandatory vacation and minimum wage, healthcare, all that kind of stuff. It's a smaller place, so they can do more for their people, easier to manage, I guess. But it's the biggest earner in the Olympics, biggest medal earner. Makes sense. It's a goddamn winter country. But I'm watching these Norwegians, and they're so prideful about what they do. And it's not like any of you are curing cancer or even, doing practical regular stuff. Like, I'm going to talk about CrossFit in the second part of the show. CrossFit is this sport craze that's really gone big. I don't know how it's doing in the rest of the world, but here in the United States, it's popping up everywhere. There's CrossFit championships, but CrossFit is this type of fitness where a group of people get together and train together. And part of the philosophy is that there's loyalty and you're a family and you got each other's back and you help each other get through a training session and competition. And in CrossFit, you're doing all kinds of strength and fitness and speed exercises that are practical in life. You're making sure your core is strengthened. You're making sure your shoulders are strengthened, your legs. You can pick up heavy shit as you grow older. You can be more agile as you grow older. It's a very practical, and on top of that, it's a team thing. Compare that to luge. Like the fucking luge. So strange. So I think there are some out of touch problems with the Olympics, if we want to get real, in the Winter Games. I think there are some, even though we watch it like us blue collar people can watch the Winter Games and get fired up about it. I love hockey, obviously. A lot of these sports are extremely foreign and weird, and we don't really understand them. We just like it because it's sport. Imagine if there was competitions in the Winter Games that connected to our daily life. I'm watching the luge and I'm thinking, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. Because I luge 3 or 4 times a week, so this all makes sense to me. Yeah, this is not alien or strange or some shit from another planet. Performed by incredibly wealthy people. Sponsored by incredibly wealthy people. Yeah, this all makes sense to me. No, what the fuck? There's a disconnect. I'm sure the ratings will be fine. I think, the Olympics have a built-in ratings success component, and that's the fact that it only happens every 4 years. So we get fired up about it. We get stoked on it. It's good for ratings. If you did the Olympics on a regular basis, we would fucking hate that shit. We would really see it for what it is. But I'm not saying we throw out the Olympics. When we get back from our break, here are some action steps on how we can make the Winter Olympics better. We'll catch you in a few. We're back with you. We're back with you at Idea Hug. Email us your ideas Email us what you want to hear. myideahug@gmail.com. It's myideahug@gmail.com. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, our website, ideahug.com. You can listen to us on iTunes. You can download. You can listen to us direct from the website or on YouTube. Today we're talking about, our submission was, we got so much good feedback from how to make the Super Bowl and the NFL better. You can check that podcast out. Somebody said, well, how do you make the Winter Olympics better? What can we do to make the Winter Olympics better? So we've been talking about that. In our first segment, we talked about some of the positive things and the tradition and the glory and the unity that the Olympics brings. But we also talked about how many of these sports are so detached from reality, so detached from the blue-collar worker. Many of these sports are elitist sports, strange, obscure sports that cost a lot of money to participate in. They cost a lot of money for the youth to participate in. A lot of these sports are inaccessible. There's a lot of people in the world who've never even seen snow or a mountain. There's some disconnects with the Winter Olympics. So this segment of the show, this is Idea Hug. We're going to hug the idea of how to make it better. I'm not saying throw it out, but how to make it better. The first thought is this. Keep the creative stuff, okay? Keep all that creative stuff. There is art in the Olympics, Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics. All the creative stuff, all the stuff that takes a artistic judgment with judgment scores, gymnastics, diving in the Summer Games. In the Winter Games, you have snowboard tricks, figure skating, ski tricks. Keep all that creative stuff, whether it's the Summer or Winter Games, because there is a beautiful artistry to those. It's not just two people speeding to see who can be the fastest on a luge, to see who can curl together their blocks on the ice and play giant shuffleboard. Keep the creative stuff. There is some art and some soul to that. When a young woman jumps up on the snowboard half pipe, she is inventing her own particular art form. And so she goes out there and she does something no one's ever done before the way she's doing it. And she's coming up with creative ideas, new tricks, new ways to move the human body, new ways to move a snowboard. And it's inspiring to see people create art right before our eyes. Holy shit, that's something new. How did they do that? I don't critique the figure skating and the ice dancing. It's not my favorite sport, but I get it because it's art. These people are putting in tons of work and doing something incredibly unique. When you go to these other sports in the Winter Olympics, the speed sports, the race sports, everything looks exactly the same. It's elitist. It's removed from our society. We can't relate to it. And every run looks exactly the same. It's just about which one of these rich kids can go the fastest. Yeah, we talked in our first segment that snowboarding and skiing, regardless whether it's the creative side or the speed side, is expensive. But my first thought today is keep the creative stuff and just add more. Add more creativity. Add more creativity to the Olympics. What if in the middle of the luge you had to get some style points? What if in the middle of the ski jump you had to do something to make us laugh? It's cool because in the moguls, the moguls is a speed run through bumpy snow. They added a jump in the middle. And people do backflips and 360s and different things. Add creativity to it. Allow people to express themselves. See, we can relate to that. We all need a creative outlet. We all are inspired by people performing art. Keep the creative stuff. Get more of it, actually. Get things that we can relate to. Let the Winter Olympics have more creative stuff. A creative attachment to almost everything. That would add a challenge to a lot of these racers. Very cool. Very cool. So my first thought is keep the creative stuff. Keep the art forms. That's pretty special. I get it. They're not my favorite. They're not my favorite sports. But it's pretty impressive to watch somebody create art right before our eyes and do something unique that will not be done ever, copied ever by anyone else. A unique snowboard trick run. A unique ice dancing duo. Incredibly impressive. My second thought on how to fix the Winter Olympics is have some meaningful competitions. We need new sports in the Winter Olympics that are meaningful. Let me give you an example. Right now you have the ski jump. The ski jump, you go down this big fucking steep hill and you see who can jump the farthest. I guess you could say the meaning is like who can be the most aerodynamic, who can be the best, who can train the hardest, the fitness, the science, all rolled into one. I guess you could say that the team, who has the best team of trainers and scientists and fucking magicians and warlocks. Fuck if I know. We need meaningful competitions. Here's an idea for one. You have a cross-country ski competition where somebody's got to strap a bow and arrow to their back, cross-country ski out, up a hill for 5 miles, and from 45 yards out, shoot a elk target, shoot a kill shot. They've got to shoot until they get the kill shot. Then they've got to cross-country ski up to the target, field dress that elk, and pack it out on their cross-country skis. And we'll see who gets the gold. This is meaningful. Hunting for food is something that the entire world can relate to. Seeing who is tough enough and smart enough and agile enough with a bow and with a knife and with the strength in their back and skis. There are so many components of a sport like this. That's the kind of shit that should be in the Winter Olympics. And you would see a whole new breed of athlete be able to join. You might even see a great hunter who is a quick field dresser be able to get trained in cross-country skiing and open up the sport. And you might be able to see a cross-country skier who's the best in the world get trained in archery and open up the sport in a new direction. But we could watch this as citizens of fucking Earth and say, all that shit makes sense. You got to carry a heavy load. Hey, who the fuck is good at carrying a heavy load so that your family can eat, or so you can supply meat for your village, or so you can sell meat or have a business? Because a lot of us have had to carry a heavy load in order to get through the day. Add some meaningful competitions, and the possibilities are endless here. You could do this with skiing. You could even come up with some of this connected to snowboarding. What if you had to ski with a baby in your bag? With another human strapped to you? What if there was like a ski patrol competition where you had to perform a rescue, an avalanche procedure? Something meaningful and something that we could connect to and something that we can see in regular life. Cross-country skiing to shoot an elk, field dress it, pack it out. Connects to business, connects to life, connects to eating, connects to survival. I want to see that. Our first thought was keep the creative stuff and maximize it. Let's get more creative stuff. Allow people to be artists in the Olympics, winter and summer. I love it. It's relatable. We all crave creative outlets. Have more meaningful sports was our second thought. Somebody take my fucking idea about archery, elk, winter hunting. Put that in the Olympics. Now this third thought. This is going to revolutionize the Olympics. You want to get crazy? Here you go. Have some competitions in the Olympics for the middle class. I'm from America, so I'm talking about my American fellow people. If you're going to have the Winter Olympics, give us an experience that anyone can experience in the winter. Okay? Very few of us are ever going to downhill ski, luge, bobsled. Oh, I want to... If you know the stats on how many people have ever been on a fucking bobsled, I bet it's one of the least experienced things in the world. Our third thought today is have some winter experiences in the Olympics for the middle class. I'm not joking. You know what we all do in the winter? Is we get out the fucking snow shovel and clear driveways and sidewalks. Have a snow shoveling event. Put a shit ton of fresh snow on a path and see who can shovel it the fastest. Come up with new ways of shoveling. Come up with new technologies for shovels. What are the best clothes and gloves to wear for snow shoveling? You know how many people could cheer and applaud this? How many times we've broken our backs on a 4-foot snowstorm in Boston? Or up in the Pacific Northwest or the West Coast? Snow shovel competition. Holy shit, I just choked. I choked on my laughter and happiness. Okay? Add a snow shoveling competition. Something for the middle class. Something that anybody can get into and practice in the winter. How about a snowball fight? What does everyone do regardless of income, regardless of social status in the winter? With happiness and some fucking snowball fights. Imagine a Winter Olympic sport that we could all relate to. 5-on-5, like paintball or like dodgeball. They put you in 2 piles of snow. You got to build your own snowballs and you got to attack the other team. Who can make the best snowball? Who can make the biggest snowball? Most artistic snowman building. Holy shit. This is right now Idea Hug at its best. We are hugging the hell out of this idea. Artistic snowman building. Most creative snowman. Fastest snowman. Biggest snowman. Snowball fight. 5-on-5. Epic. That would be fun to watch. That would teach us. We could take part in that. The kid from your local elementary school could train to be in U.S. Winter Olympic snowball fight. Jesus Christ. We see skiing and snowboarding and a lot of downhill weird shit. Let's have sledding. Let's have crazy sledding. The kind of sledding I grew up seeing where people are just finding any fucking thing they can to get down the hill. Tires, inner tubes, cardboard, a plastic fucking bag. Let's have ghetto sledding. Poor man's downhill sledding. Inner tube race. Inner tube trick competition. We need something for the middle class. We need something relatable. We need something real. What's the real winter experience? It for sure as fuck is not the ski jump. Let's review our 3 thoughts, and I'll get out of your hair. Number 1, keep the creative stuff. Let people perform their art and add more art to the other events. Number 2, more meaningful competitions. We gave the example of cross-country skiing where you shoot an elk, field dress it, pack out the meat, serve the meat to your village, to your neighbors. More meaningful ideas like that, more creative ideas. And number 3, something for the middle class. The snow shovel competition, the build a snowman competition, the snowball fight, 5-on-5, just like dodgeball. Hell yeah, build your own snowballs and knock each other out. The sledding and inner tube competition. Oh, the possibilities are endless. You want to reach in and get more people involved in the Olympics and excited about it? Connect it to real life. I'm not saying we should toss the Winter Olympics. There's some weird disconnects, though. I got to call it out. I got to be honest. It's not like watching NBA basketball. NBA basketball is a worldwide sport. People can play anywhere. It's embraced by most of the world. Any financial income level, people are involved in basketball. Matter of fact, many of our best pro basketball players didn't grow up as rich kids. Many of our best had financial struggles like any of us. The other component to basketball that's really cool is the teamwork you have to see, the trust, the loyalty, the composure, the poise. You just don't see a lot of that in the Winter Games. It's just one person going as fast as they fucking can down a hill on a weird contraption. So strange. Well, tonight we've learned how to make the Winter Olympics better. Send us your ideas at myideahug@gmail.com. Contact us. Check us out on Instagram. We always got cool stuff going on. We throw out memes, ideas, inspiration. Subscribe to us on Instagram. Download our podcast on iTunes. Listen to it anytime you want. Let's get fired up. This is Idea Hug. We love you. We love ideas. Be a person who talks about ideas, who doesn't gossip, who doesn't talk about other people, talks about ideas. That's what Idea Hug is all about. Send us yours. We love you. Have a great night.